Project 14-3, drawing a solid model of the tenant space reception seating. So we're going to create a basic model of this furniture, and we're going to basically draw these chair and coffee table and corner tables with a series of boxes. And if we look at this drawing, we have 8 feet 6 inches in width for these 3 pieces, and then it goes by 8 feet 6 this way, and then it appears we're about 30 inches by 34 inches for these chairs, and then these must be the tables. And so here's our corner table, and this is our coffee table. And as we learn to read these drawings, what he's given you here, or she's given you here, is the top view or plan view, and then this is an elevation. And so the corner table is just going to be a box, and the coffee table is also. And then the chair, the way the chairs are made is that it looks to me like these are the sides, and they'll go all the way up, and then this square here is going to be this cushion in the middle that's 17 inches. And so, and then there's going to be a back, and this will be the back of it. So we're going to go and start in AutoCAD, and if we go to D2L, we can download the title block. Content. And then we'll go with our title blocks. And so I'm going to start off by drawing a line. Let's take a look at the Layer Properties Manager here. And let's just use a furniture layer. We'll make that current. And then we'll draw a line. And I'm going to turn off the grid on this. I don't think we need grid and snap. What we do want is to turn on polar. And so let's check our drafting settings. And let's make sure polar tracking is on and object snap is on. And then we'll start by tracking a line, 8 feet 6 inches. And then we'll bring this line down this way, 8 feet 6 inches. Turn on our line weights. And we'll start to draw these furniture pieces. And so I think what we'll do is we'll start with this chair since we have all the dimensions on it. And so we're going to offset this line 30 inches and then make the other appropriate offsets. So that's a 30-inch offset. I'm just going to close that end off. And then I'm going to offset it 34 inches the other way. We'll trim that. I'm going to, yeah, I'll trim it. Come back to it later. And then we're going to offset 6 inches. This line to this side. And we'll go 22 inches. And 8 inches. We'll trim that. And that completes our first piece, and it repeats. And so this shape, we'll just copy it, leave a 2-inch space, and then we'll bring it over here and revolve it or rotate it. So we'll say copy. And what I like to do is I like to just draw a little tracer line to keep track. And so I'll just draw a line from there, 2 inches. And that way I know that's how far apart they are. And then when I copy it, I don't need this line, so I can shift click on it, enter to select everything, and then I'll move it from here, copy it rather from here to here. Hit escape. And then we'll have a 30-inch piece for the coffee table. And so I'm assuming this is 2 inches again. And then we have a 2-inch offset, about a 30-inch square shape. Offset 2 inches. $30. And it looks like if I click on this that I put a line underneath it, and I did. So that's that 30-inch line. And then I can just connect the endpoints. Put a fillet with a radius of 3 inches here. And then we'll offset that geometry 2 inches. And really, when we model this, we might have been better off not to do this part, because we could have used a 3-dimensional fillet. So we'll see how this works out once we start to model it. So that's the end table, and then there's just 2 more chairs, and so we can just copy those and rotate them. So I'll copy them. From this point, and I'll just throw them out here, and then I'll rotate them, enter, to end the selection, and then rotate it 90 degrees about that point. And then we'll offset, or we'll make a little tracer line 2 inches. And so let's see if I can track this. Yep. And then we'll go 2 inches. And that's where we will put this corner over to here. So we'll move that. And we really want to get rid of that geometry here, so I'm going to delete that and then move it so that I don't have lines on top of lines. It just causes problems when you try to work with things because you don't know if you have the top line or the bottom line. Okay, and let's make the coffee table. So the coffee table is 36 inches by 36 inches. It's got those 3-inch radiuses on it, so we'll just go, and it says that to locate it 24 inches from the edge of one of the chairs. And then what we'll do is I'll just draw a line on one side, let's say this side, and that's going to be 36. And then we'll go this way, 36. Go this way, 36. And then we can just grab this and this, bring this over here to be 36 or 3 feet. We'll put a radius on here of 3 inches. And you could use the repeat fillet command. I'm just a little slow tonight. And then I'm going to offset that 2 inches, just like we did for the corner. Did it 2 feet. Okay, so this is the geometry that we need to create the table. I'm sorry. So this is the geometry that we need to model the furniture. In part 1, we'll just put some dimensions on this and we'll save it. And then in part 2, we'll go through and model it. So we can come over here, we can switch over to a dimension layer. And then we can go and start putting some dimensions on it. I don't think we need to have me put all of the dimensions on here. Linear dimensions will all come in pretty much the same like that. And then radial dimensions, you'll choose a radial dimension. And then you can just bring it over to the edge, click on that, and drop that in there. Once you have the object drawn and dimensioned, we'll save that file. And I'll save that with my initials, and then let's call it the same thing they call it here, which is project 14-3. And I'm going to put this into my directory for CAD 136. A little bit of cleanup work. If we go to the Layout tab, double click in the viewport, we can then double click the middle mouse wheel to zoom everything in there. It's best if you do set a scale, and so let's see what we look like at 1/2 inch equals a foot. Not bad. We might be able to go 3/4. Yep, that'll fit. Double click out here. So we'll put in the scale, we'll put our name on it. This is CAD 136, not 134. And it's a good idea to lock the viewport once you set the scale. And so click on this little scale button, and then we'll save it one more time. And that completes the 2-dimensional part of creating this furniture.